Just that morning is where my brother-in-law and husband and kids were teaching me how to throw. I didn't know how to throw a ball. I always think it's going to make the kids happy to see this.
In 2011, Debbie Whitmore was given a diagnosis of stage 4 colon cancer.
The little ones didn't want to go, and I said, no, I thought that's something that they would regret. When they're older, they'll probably say, you didn't make us go, you should have made us go, Tyler and Josh, you like pizza, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys...
Of course.
You're gonna go outside, bud? All right. Be good.
A Frontline team spent 8 months filming patients at the end of life for the film Being Mortal.
Oh, did you put on that? Okay.
Debbie Whitmore is one of those patients. Oncologist Jeff Meyerhart had been treating her for almost 3 years.
She knows this is not a curable disease. And I think she sets various goals at different times to be able to try to reach, but she's also realistic of where, eventually the disease is going to lead.
The disease is worse, so today she will hear her next options.
How are you feeling?
But always tired, never good days really anymore. That's one thing.
She started a new chemotherapy now 2.5 weeks ago. But we knew she unfortunately had progression of disease elsewhere.
And so there's 3 choices, right? So 1 is to stay what you're on and see if it's going to help or not. 2 is to switch treatment. Or 3, as we talked about last time, both, unfortunately, none of them are great choices.
Right.
And I'm not sure they're going to change the natural history of your disease. And
Right.
so should we be doing anything?
Right.
The discussion is trying to get her to whatever quality of life we could get her to. As you get farther down lines of therapy, the likelihood of changing an outcome is less.
What do you want to do?
I could do another treatment, if you think that,
Well, is that what you want to do?
The important thing I think he's asking, though, is whether you really want to do it. Right now, it's God only knows. Do you want to endure another treatment? That's what it comes down to.
I'll do it. I had to be tried. I'll do it again. No, I think it's okay. To me, I'm scared because I could find out that this isn't working. And then I have to face, gosh, I'm really getting near the end. And all I could thinking when he was telling me that is, will I make it till Christmas? That was my thing.
The hard part for Debbie is just the predictability of things and then learning how to live with that. So it becomes a struggle. At first you're holding back because you think, sickness is just around the corner, so we shouldn't plan things. And then we realize that's totally wrong.
As Debbie's condition worsens, the conversation changes from how to reverse the disease to how to fight for her best possible days with it. For Mark and Debbie, that means assuring time with their 4 kids.
To think when I stop treatments, what would I like to do with the kids? That I wrote, I'd love to go to Disney.
Yeah.
And we planned the Disney trip. We, tried to take advantage of special moments in time instead of feeling worried.
About a Disney trip.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Do you know about this? Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
of course I know.
Debbie's fondest wish now is to take a trip with her family to Disney World.
That's okay.
We're not in that stage of thinking about what's the next best treatment to shrink the tumors. Now it's more like, what are the best things we can do to make her feel comfortable and reach the Disney goal. That should be our number 1 goal, is getting there, and getting there in a way that you can enjoy it.
I think an important concept for patients, it's not giving up by not doing cancer-directed therapies. It's changing the focus of your treatment, but you're still treating how you feel and trying to maximize quality of life is important to think about.
Debbie takes treatment aimed to keep her strong for the trip, but she's hospitalized just days before.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
We're going through a week during radiation where she looks really sick, and then I wonder if she can even go to the park for an hour. Would you be happy just maybe staying at the resort and maybe having dinner with the kids when they come back, or are you really expecting to be able to go to the parks and watch them on rides and stuff? And so those are,
so we don't really know.
could be a legacy thing.
Right, that maybe right after the funeral, they just all hop on a plane.
But let's take one day at a time.
Yeah.
You got out to the Magic Kingdom. We got to, eat at the California Grill and watch the fireworks over Magic Kingdom. We got quality time in it.
Debbie got 6 days there, but had to return. She has signs of liver failure.
We just had a wonderful vacation at Disney World. So we just met this goal. It was very difficult to go to Disney, but it was wonderful. It was a great experience, and I loved watching my children experience everything. But I can tell my body is not functioning well. We don't know how much time I have left, but it's very critical. This is life or death right now. My children came in, told them everything I want them to remember, knowing that tomorrow, and they realized too that I may not be clear in the mind again, to speak to them and tell them everything I want to let them know. But this is the last stage.
What do you want to do from this point forward?
I hope to have some time on hospice, if I could do hospice at home, and have a fire in the fireplace. Just something simple like that. I mean a lot. People will say, did you ever say, why me? So I've never been angry. I just feel like this is the path I've been given, and you just have to go with it. You can't crawl into a ball and cry, because how's that gonna make any difference? So I do feel that everything's okay.